It was meant to be a cheerful morning filled with laughter, warmth, and music. Today with Jenna and Friends had booked Kelly Clarkson as their headline guest, a sure way to brighten up any episode. The crowd was buzzing with excitement, holding, "We love Kelly" signs and waiting for one of America's most beloved singers to take the stage. Kelly entered with her signature grin, waving to the audience as the band played a snippet of her latest single. Everything looked perfect on the surface, two charming women, both known for their positivity and humor, about to share coffee and conversation. But what viewers didn't know was that underneath Kelly's easy smile was a woman tired of being picked apart. As the interview began, Jenna Bush Hager, always warm and bubbly, greeted Kelly like an old friend. "Kelly, you're glowing. You've been in New York for a few months now, how's it treating you?" Kelly laughed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Oh, you know me, if there's coffee and a piano nearby, I'm good," she said. The audience chuckled. For a few moments, it felt like any other morning show chat. But then Jenna shifted gears. "You've always been so open about your life," she said, leaning forward. "Your fans really connect to your honesty about your divorce, the changes in your life, and how you're raising your kids through it all." Kelly gave a polite nod, but her smile faltered ever so slightly. "Yeah," she said softly, "it's been a journey. Music's definitely helped me heal." Jenna pressed on, trying to maintain the energy. "Do you feel like you're finally in a happy place now? Like you've found closure?" Kelly blinked, pausing before answering. The air grew still. "That's a big question for a Monday morning," she replied, forcing a laugh that drew a few uncertain chuckles from the audience. "I mean, I'm human. Some days are good, some days not so much." But Jenna, perhaps sensing a moment, tried to go deeper. "I think people just see you as so strong, Kelly. You've been through so much publicly, and it's inspiring. Do you ever get tired of being seen as the one who always bounces back?" This time, Kelly didn't laugh. She stared at Jenna for a beat longer than comfortable. "Yeah, sometimes I get really tired of it." The tone in her voice was low, honest, almost trembling. The audience grew quiet, sensing the shift. Trying to lighten the tension, Jenna smiled and said, "Well, that's what makes you so relatable. You always tell it like it is." But that was the wrong move. Kelly leaned back in her chair, her expression hardening. "Being relatable doesn't mean I have to bleed on camera," she said flatly. "Sometimes people just want to sing, or laugh, or talk about their work without being dragged through their own trauma." The silence that followed was sharp enough to cut through the studio. Jenna blinked, caught off guard. "Oh, Kelly, I didn't mean." But Kelly wasn't done. Her voice was steady, but her frustration was unmistakable. "I know you didn't, but it's like, every interview turns into therapy. I'm proud of my past, but I'm not living in it. I came here to talk about my new album, about what's next." The tension rippled through the room. Even the studio band members shifted uncomfortably. Jenna's co-hosts exchanged glances off camera. Jenna tried to steer things back. "You're absolutely right, Kelly. Let's talk about the new music. What inspired?" Kelly interrupted softly, "You know what's funny? The songs are about taking back control. About saying no when everyone expects yes." Her eyes met Jenna's briefly. "So maybe this moment fits." The atmosphere was now electric, part awkward, part riveting. No one dared to speak. Kelly's voice softened, but the exhaustion behind it was evident. "I've done this for over 20 years, and I love my fans, I really do. But somewhere along the way, I started feeling like I was expected to keep reliving pain for entertainment. That's not connection, that's consumption." The audience, unsure whether to applaud or stay silent, murmured softly. Jenna, now visibly flustered, said, "I completely understand, and I'm sorry if it came across that way." Kelly held up a hand, signaling that she didn't want to continue. "It's okay, Jenna, really, I just need a minute." She rose from her chair, smoothed her dress, and gave a quick nod to the stunned crowd. Then, in one of the most unexpected moments in today's history, Kelly Clarkson quietly walked off set. The cameras caught her figure disappearing behind the curtain, leaving Jenna frozen in her seat and the live audience gasping. Producers scrambled off screen, and Jenna, flustered but trying to maintain professionalism, turned back to the camera. "We're going to take a quick break," she said, her voice slightly trembling. As the theme music played and the camera faded to commercial, the energy in the studio hung heavy, a mix of shock, empathy, and disbelief. What had started as a cheerful morning show had just turned into one of the most talked about moments in daytime television. Within hours of the live broadcast, the clip of Kelly Clarkson walking off the set of Today with Jenna and Friends exploded online. It spread across social media faster than anyone could have predicted. Every angle of the exchange, every flicker of tension in Kelly's eyes, every awkward pause, was analyzed, dissected, and replayed in slow motion by fans and critics alike. Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube were ablaze with commentary. Hashtags like hashtag Kelly walks off, hashtag Jenna vs Kelly, and hashtag respect boundaries dominated the trending pages. For some, Kelly's reaction was completely justified. She's human, one viral post read. People act like celebrities owe them emotional confessions on command. She stood up for herself. Others took Jenna's side, calling the walk-off dramatic. Jenna was just doing her job, another commenter wrote. Kelly overreacted. That's how interviews work. The internet had split into two passionate camps, each defending their version of the truth. Behind the scenes, NBC executives and Today producers were scrambling. What was supposed to be an easy, upbeat segment had turned into a PR nightmare. Reports surfaced that Jenna had broken down in tears after the broadcast ended, telling staff, "I never meant to upset her. I admire Kelly so much. I thought we were having an honest conversation." Those who knew Jenna described her as genuinely kind-hearted, and utterly devastated that her interview had spiraled so badly. Meanwhile, Kelly had gone silent. Her team issued a short statement late that afternoon. Kelly appreciates the opportunity to appear on Today. She needed a moment to step away, and we ask for understanding and respect. But the statement did little to calm the storm. Paparazzi photos soon emerged of Kelly leaving NBC's New York studio later that day, wearing sunglasses and walking briskly, ignoring shouted questions from photographers. By the next morning, every entertainment outlet had picked up the story. Entertainment Tonight, E! News, Variety, and even the New York Times ran think pieces about the incident. Some framed it as a crack in the polished facade of daytime television, while others labeled it a wake-up call about celebrity boundaries. Social media flooded with clips from Kelly's past interviews, moments when she had been asked about her divorce, her weight, her motherhood. Proof, fans said, that she'd been carrying this frustration for a long time. Then came Jenna's on-air apology. When Today went live the following morning, Jenna appeared visibly emotional. Her co-hosts offered quiet support as she faced the camera. Yesterday's show took a turn none of us expected, she began, her voice trembling slightly. Kelly Clarkson is someone I deeply admire, not just for her music, but for her heart. Our conversation became uncomfortable, and I feel awful that it did. I never meant to make her feel exposed or pressured. I respect her more than ever. The studio was silent. She took a deep breath and added, "We're all learning to give each other grace, even in live moments." Her apology was praised by many but also questioned by others. Some accused the network of damage control. Still, fans appreciated that Jenna owned her mistake publicly. Kelly remained silent for 3 days, choosing to stay off social media completely, a rarity for the usually outspoken singer. Then, during the following week's taping of The Kelly Clarkson Show, she finally addressed the situation. The audience fell quiet as she spoke candidly. "I've been thinking a lot about what happened," she began. "You all know me, I'm honest to a fault. But I also learned something about myself this week. I learned that even when you're strong, you still get tired. You can love being open and still deserve privacy." She paused, her expression soft but resolute. "I don't regret walking off. Sometimes, protecting your peace means removing yourself from a situation before you say something you'll regret." Her audience erupted in applause. Viewers watching at home flooded social media with messages of support. Clips of her speech went viral again, but this time, the tone had shifted, less gossip, more admiration. "This is why we love her," one fan tweeted. "She's not perfect, she's real." A few days later, reports surfaced that Kelly and Jenna had spoken privately on the phone. According to insiders, it was an emotional but healing conversation. Jenna apologized again, and Kelly reportedly told her, "We're good. I know your heart." The two women even hinted at reuniting on air in the future, though both agreed it would be on different terms. Despite their reconciliation, the incident left a lasting mark on daytime TV. Other hosts and journalists began discussing the fine line between empathy and intrusion. Segments on talk shows like The View and The Talk debated whether the media expects too much emotional labor from celebrities. Even psychology experts weighed in. noting that Kelly's walk-off reflected a broader cultural shift, one where people, even public figures, were learning to say no without apology. Weeks later, when Kelly performed her single, Breathe Again, Live, fans couldn't help but see new meaning in the lyrics. I'm done explaining all my broken pieces, she sang, her voice powerful and raw. The performance went viral too, but this time, the focus wasn't on the controversy, it was on her artistry. In the end, Kelly's decision to walk off wasn't an act of rebellion. It was a boundary drawn in real time, a reminder that even the strongest voices need space to breathe. And for Jenna, it became a humbling moment of reflection, one that taught her the value of empathy over curiosity. The cameras may have caught the tension, the walk-off, and the aftermath, but what they truly captured was something deeper. A moment when two women, under the bright lights of live television, reminded the world that authenticity doesn't always look polished. It sometimes looks like standing up, walking away, and choosing peace.